welcome to my channel. So our today's video lecture is on thumb sucking habit. I still remember those days when I was a kid and when my younger brother, he was just born and he has this habit of sucking thumb and he still has that callus formation on his thumb. But when I was a kid, I didn't knew. I thought he must be receiving some kind of juices from his thumb and that's why he is sucking his thumb. Quite lame, right? But now we know everything about it. And at the end of this video, you will understand all the aspects of this disease and probably you will be able to anticipate the reason behind this habit in your particular patient and you will be able to treat it successfully. So now any further ado, let's get started. So what is basically thumb sucking? Moyers defined thumb sucking as repeated and forceful sucking of thumb with associated strong buccal and lip contraction. Thumb sucking and any other finger sucking can more generally be termed as digit sucking. Broader category of sucking habits include any form of non-nutritive sucking that involves pacifiers, hair, etc. As you can see, different forms of thumb sucking in these pictures. So this is very interesting that thumb sucking can start as early as 15 weeks of growth in the uterus or within months of being born. Till 3.5 to 4 years, this habit is considered normal. Let's know something called as suckling reflex first, okay? If you are a final year student, then this is an important short note for you all. For NEET PG, this concept has to be very clear that what do you mean by suckling reflex, okay? So pay attention to it. According to many authors, thumb sucking is a consequence of suckling reflex. Suckling reflex is a normal reflex in a child, okay? The process of suckling is a reflex occurring in the oral stage of development and is seen even at 29 weeks of intrauterine and it may disappear during normal growth between the ages of 1 to 3.5 years. So it is the first coordinated muscular activity of an infant. This suckling not only satisfies nutritive needs during feeding, but also provides pleasurable stimuli from lips, tongue and oral mucosa and learn to associate these with enjoyable sensations such as fondling, closeness of a parent, and infants who are deprived of suckling may become restless and irritable. So this deprivation may motivate the infant to suck the thumb or finger for additional gratification. So this is what suckling reflex is. There are two forms of suckling: nutritive sucking. This is the sucking mechanism involved in breastfeeding and bottle feeding, and the other is non-nutritive sucking. It is the earliest form of sucking adapted by child in response to frustration or anxiety. Children who are not breastfed properly and the children who are deprived affection try to satisfy their needs with the habits like thumb sucking. So friends, to treat the habit of thumb sucking, we need to know the root cause of it, okay? So once we have the cause, we can give the proper treatment, right? So the first is psychological theory of psychosexual development. It was proposed by Sigmund Freud, and according to him, and the persistent thumb sucking is the result of prolonged emotional disturbance and should not be treated without attempting to identify the underlying psychological cause. Second is oral drive theory, which was proposed by Sears and Weiss. So they completely disagreed with this psychological theory. They said that sucking in infant is always followed by primary reward, okay, which is food. Thus, thumb sucking is the result of prolongation of nursing and not the frustration or weaning. Third is the learning theory by Davidson. This theory advocates that non-nutritive sucking is an adaptive response. According to this theory, there is no underlying psychological importance to prolonged non-nutritive sucking, but the infant associates sucking with such pleasurable feelings as hunger, satiety, and being held. So these events are recalled by sucking action of the suitable objects available, namely the thumb or finger. Benjamin's theory, Benjamin put his hypothesis that thumb sucking arises simply and mechanistically from the rooting and placing reflexes seen in all human infants. It is also seen in monkeys and even infraprimate mammals. This reflex, which is rooting reflex, is more common around 3 to 4 months of age and disappear in normal infant around 7 to 8 months of age. object in infant at times of hunger is mother's breast, and sometimes infant may place finger accidentally towards cheek, and particularly even the child is hungry or placed in crib, and when he is devoid of mother's breast, he chooses finger or his thumb. Okay. Coming to the clinical phases of thumb sucking. Phase 1 is normal and subclinically significant. This phase starts from child's birth and extend up to 3 years of age. The presence of thumb sucking during this phase is considered quite normal and usually terminate at the end of the phase 1. Phase 2 is clinically significant sucking. This phase extends from the age of 3 to 7 years. And the presence of sucking during this period is an indication that the child is under great anxiety. A firm and definitive program of correction is indicated at this time. Phase 3 is intractable sucking. Any thumb sucking persisting after the child's 4th year of age presents the dentist with a problem. It alerts the dentist to the underlying psychological aspect of the habit. Psychological consultation is advised during this phase. Coming to the different patterns of thumb sucking. Here you can see this is group 1. Here thumb occupies large area of palatal vault. Lower incisors press out the thumb and contact it beyond the first joint. This is group number 2. Here thumb and mouth around the first joint or just interior to it. No palatal contact and contacts only maxillary or mandibular anterior teeth. This is group 3 in which thumb fully contacts with palatal vault without any contact with mandibular incisors. And this is group 4 in which thumb does not progress appreciably into the mouth. The lower incisors make contact at the level of thumbnail. Now, effects of thumb sucking. So there are skeletal effects and dental effects as well. So basically the effects of thumb sucking depends on many factors like position of the digit during sucking, as we seen the patterns of thumb sucking. Okay, so we also need to rule out that what is the pattern of this patient for thumb sucking. So it also depends on the skeletal or dental effects. Then associated facial muscle contraction, position of the mandible and facial skeletal morphology. All these factors depends upon the effects of thumb sucking. So in the skeletal, what do we see? High narrow arched palate, then prognathic maxilla and retrognathic mandible and open bite tendency is seen. In the dental defects, we see proclined upper incisors, retroclined lower incisors. So because of that, overjet is created. Okay, so there is increased overjet and interior open bite and posterior cross bite. See here in this image, you can see open bite with proclined upper incisors and posterior cross bite. In this second image, note the proclination of upper incisors and open bite. And there is also soft tissue defect like incompetent lips or hypotonic upper lip is seen. Okay. Coming to the diagnosis part, we'll see the socio-economical condition of the parents, then we'll study the feeding habits, parental care of the child, peer relation, birth status of the child. Like usually the elder child feels neglected, and whether the parents are working or not, because all these factors somewhere gives a hint about the psychological condition of the child. Here in this image, you can see callus formation on fingers in different digit suckers. This callus formation is seen on my brother's thumb as well. It is still there after so many years. Now, how we will manage the thumb sucking habit? So first of all, what we should do is prevention and psychological approach. Okay. Success of any habit interception procedure largely depends upon the subject's cooperation and willingness to be helped to discontinue his sucking habit, right? So thus the parents and the dentist should seek to motivate the child. This is the basic need. Then we can manage the thumb sucking by psychological therapy. The child is referred to professionals for psychological counseling if a psychological disturbance is suspected. Basically, thumb sucking children between the age of 4 to 8 years of age need only reassurance, positive reinforcement and friendly reminders. This would be enough to motivate them. But in certain cases, we do require psychological consultation. Talking about psychological therapy, Dunlop's beta hypothesis. So what Dunlop said is, he said that he put forward a theory basically, which is called beta hypothesis, which states that the best way to break a habit is forced purposeful repetition of a habit. And how we can follow it actually is, we can ask the child to sit in front of the mirror, and we can ask to suck his thumb and observing himself as he indulges in the habit. So basically creating an unpleasant reaction with his own habit, which will make him to dislike this habit, and there are chances that the child may stop sucking one day. Then we can also give reminder therapy. This is useful in those patients who desire to stop the habit but need assistance to do so. So here we can first do the chemical method, use of spicy or bitter flavored preparations or distasteful agents. Preparation placed on the thumb that is sucked can make that habit distasteful. A commercially available product, Famite, which is composed of dentonium benzoate, which is hard and bitter in taste, and it should be applied on the skin and nails when the child is sleeping and allowed to dry for 10 minutes. This unpalpatable compound prevents children from sucking their digits on application. And a new coat should be applied twice daily till the habit is broken. Then mechanical methods. These include some form of mechanical means which avoid direct contact of finger with the oral cavity. Like in the first image, you can see the thumb guard. Okay, it is a thermoplastic mechanical device to break the habit. And we can also give thumb stirs, a glove on the finger. And then we can also give finger guard. Removable habit breakers, like in the image you can see there is a simple holly type of removable appliance with acrylic plate, labial bow and a clasp to which the cribs are attached at the anterior palatal region. Okay, so these appliances without a labial bow can sometimes be in conjunction with fixed mechanical appliances. So removable and fixed, both appliances we can give. And lastly, bluegrass appliance. This appliance was introduced for children with a continued thumb sucking habit in mixed and early permanent dentition, and this is a fixed appliance consisting of molar bends. Hey guys, so I hope now thumb sucking is very much clear to you all, and I hope you have gained something from this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.